boring-ass Marvel movies.
Marvel's Phase 5 has been a bit of a mixed bag, to say the least. Oh sure, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Deadpool vs. Wolverine were big hits, but Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, The Marvels, and Captain America: Brave New World were not. Those movies lost money and are pretty poorly received. A lot of people say it's superhero fatigue. Too much content, too many movies. I think it's partially that, but mostly the quality of these films since Avengers Endgame has really suffered. Into this mixed bag comes Thunderbolts, the most recent film in the MCU. So what do we have here? Is Thunderbolts one of the rare, recent, good MCU films? Or is this yet another Marvel flop? Well, before we answer that, let's talk a little bit about the plot for the film Thunderbolts.
Let's chat. Seriously, let's chat.
In Thunderbolts, we meet an unconventional team of anti-heroes. Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, Red Guardian, Ghost, Taskmaster, and John Walker. After finding themselves ensnared in a death trap set by Valentina DeFontaine, these disillusioned cast-offs must embark on a dangerous mission that will force them to confront the darkest corners of their past and an all-powerful creation of DeFontaine, a man who has godlike powers but deep mental health issues. Will this dysfunctional group tear themselves apart or find redemption and unite as something much more before it's too late for all of them? So what works in this film? Well, acting is pretty rock solid, especially for our anti-heroes. Florence Pugh as Yelena, David Arbor as Red Guardian, and Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier, along with Wyatt Russell as John Walker. Each character is deeply flawed and carries a lot of baggage, and each performer is really able to get this across, especially Florence Pugh, who steals the show as Yelena, the deadly assassin whose life has been one tragic event after the other. Also, kudos to Sebastian Stan. He plays Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. I think this is the best portrayal of that character since his first appearance in Captain America: Winter Soldier. Effects are pretty solid as well. Too many recent MCU films have pretty poor special effects, but this one is actually well done. Finally, the film doesn't feel bloated, like so many recent MCU films. It clocks in at a little over 2 hours, and I was really never bored or uninterested.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
What doesn't work here, however, are the villains. Julia Louis-Dreyfus plays DeFontaine, and I just don't buy her as either an immoral or big bad final boss. Maybe it's because she's mostly been playing comedy roles her entire acting career, and I just don't think she has the gravitas to play the heavy. Also, it does rely on a lot of the MCU comic formula. You know what I mean by that. There's a scene of extreme tension broken up by a funny little one-liner or quip. This has been standard Marvel and has become a bit tiresome to me. Finally, I'll do this without spoilers. The way they defeat the final villain just kind of felt anticlimactic to me. After watching it, I was just like, oh, well, okay. That's a choice.
That's a choice.
All that being said, however, I enjoyed this film more than I thought I would. And I think while it isn't a return to form or a Marvel is back situation, it's definitely a nice step forward for the MCU, especially after recent films where it just felt like they were spinning their wheels. Time will tell if this is a box office hit, but word of mouth has been pretty positive. No, it won't remind you of the glory days, but it's certainly better than the most recent MCU outings.
Honestly, it's an improvement.
Well, that's all I have this week. Tune in next week where I give you my thoughts and feelings on whatever I've seen. In the meantime, click that like button, subscribe, leave a comment or a question, share this video with friends and enemies alike, and as always, thank you for giving me your valuable time, and I'll see you next week. Take care.